Hello, boys and girls. I am excited to see all of my friends from pre-K and have a chance to be able to talk to you for a few minutes and read a favorite story to you. When we last got together, we were learning about art and artists, and we were getting ready to express ourselves with art, and I hope that you're doing that at home when you have the time. So, one of the artists we were going to learn about is a man by the name of Vincent Van Gogh. And he is an artist who's very well known. You could ask your parents to show you pictures of him on the computer or the tablet, and if they just put in his name, all beautiful paintings will come up. He did self-portraits, like the ones that you started in our classrooms, and he also loved to paint beautiful things in nature. Two of his famous paintings are Starry Night and also the sunflowers. And the story I'm going to share with you today is Van Gogh and the sunflowers. And it's by a man, an author. His name is Lawrence Anholt, and he's very famous for writing children's books about famous artists and other famous people. He has beautiful illustrations. He enjoys using the colors that reflect the artists and things the artists love to paint. So let's start with our book, Van Gogh and the Sunflowers by Lawrence Anholt. It's about a young man who got to be friends with Vincent Van Gogh, and his name is Camille. Where Camille lived, the sunflowers grew so high they looked like real suns, a whole field of burning yellow suns. Oh, that's beautiful. Every day after school, Camille ran through the sunflowers to meet his father, who was a postman. Together they would lift down the heavy sacks of mail. So, look at the train and all the mail. That's pretty cool. Camille's dad was a postman. One day, a strange man arrived in Camille's town. He had a straw hat, a yellow beard, and quick brown eyes. I am Vincent the Painter, he told Camille. Vincent came to live in the yellow house at the end of Camille's street. He had no money, and he had no friends. Let's try to help him, said Camille's father. That was very nice. So they loaded the cart with pots and pans and furniture for the yellow house. Camille picked a huge bunch of sunflowers for the painter and put them in a big brown pot. Vincent was very pleased to find two good friends. Vincent asked Camille's father if he would like to have his picture painted dressed in his best blue uniform. You must sit very still, said Vincent. Camille loved the bright colors Vincent used and the strong smell of the paint. And there he is, painting Camille's father. As Camille watched, his father's face appeared like magic on the canvas. The picture was strange, but very beautiful. And that painting of Camille's father, the postman, is a very, very famous painting today and hangs in a museum. Vincent said he would like to paint the whole family, Camille's mother, his big brother, his baby sister, and at last Camille himself. Camille was very excited. He'd never even had his picture taken with a camera. So there's the famous painting of Camille. And here are all the representations of the paintings Mr. Van Gogh did of Camille's mother, his big brother, and the little baby. Camille took his painting to school. He wanted everyone to see it. But the other children didn't like the picture. They all began to laugh, and this made Camille feel very sad. After school, some of the older children began chasing Vincent. They were teasing him and running along behind him as he went out to paint. Even the grown-ups joined in. "It's time he got a real job," they said, instead of playing with paints all day. There he is being chased and teased. We wouldn't do that. Camille sat for hours watching Vincent work. It was very hot, but Vincent worked fast. He painted the sunflower fields and even the sun itself. "He is the sunflower man," said Camille to himself. Look at Vincent painting. And what a beautiful place he came to paint. But no matter how hard Vincent worked, he could never sell any of his paintings. "If I had a lot of money," said Camille, "I would buy them all." "Thank you, my friend," laughed Vincent. I think they were glad to have each other. What do you think? Do you agree? I thought so. One afternoon, as Camille and Vincent were coming back from the fields, some of the children from Camille's school were waiting. They shouted at Vincent, and they threw stones at him. Camille wanted them to stop, but what could he do? He was just a little boy, like some of you. He ran home in tears. "Listen, Camille," said his father. "People often laugh at things that are different, but I've got a feeling that one day they will learn to love Vincent's paintings." And that is what happened with Vincent. Do you know he was not famous when he was alive? He made many beautiful paintings, but people really didn't understand him or his work, and so he wasn't popular. But when he passed away, his paintings became very famous, and they're worth millions of dollars. And they hang in famous museums all around the world. As a matter of fact, many of Vincent's paintings are in a museum in Amsterdam. I think I'd like to go there one day to see them. Wouldn't you? That would be fun. That night, Camille had a strange dream. He saw Vincent standing in the moonlight high above the town. Vincent stuck candles on his hat so that he could see. The sunflower man was painting the stars. Look at that. Wow. See the moon in the corner? And the way Vincent saw the stars in his eyes? Maybe they don't look like the stars you and I see, but that's how he saw them. Early the next morning, Camille was awakened by a loud knocking at the door. Some men from the town came to see his father. "Listen, postman," they said. "We want you to give this letter to your friend. It says he has to pack up his paint and leave our town." Camille slipped it through the back door. He ran down the street to the yellow house. It was very quiet inside. Then Camille saw the sunflowers he had picked for Vincent. They had all dried up and died, and that made Camille feel very sad. Vincent was upstairs packing his bags. He looked tired, but he stopped and he smiled at Camille. There's the sun. Don't be sad, he said. It's time for me to paint somewhere else now. Perhaps they'll like my paintings there. But first, I have something that I want to show you. Vincent lifted down a big picture. There were Camille's sunflowers, bigger and brighter than ever. Camille looked at the painting and he smiled too. Goodbye, sunflower man, he said. Oh, he ran out of the yellow house and into the sunshine. And Camille's father was right. People did learn to love Vincent's paintings. And today you'd have to have a lot of money to buy one. But people all over the world go to museums and galleries just to see Vincent's paintings of the yellow house, of Camille and his family, and especially of the sunflowers, so bright and yellow, they looked like real suns. Isn't that a great story? Oh, I love that story. Really beautiful. So, let's look at the sunflowers again. They are beautiful. He used a lot of color. I see yellow. That was one of our primary colors. I see orange. That was one of our secondary colors. I see green, a secondary color. And I see some brown, which I think you get if you mix all the colors together. So here's a little idea. If you would like to make a picture of Mr. Van Gogh's sunflowers, you could try it at home. I would start out by using a pencil and draw a picture of a vase. Inside the vase, add some stems. You don't have to make as many as he does. 5, maybe 7 would be enough. Then at the end of the stems, do your centers. Yellow, green, brown. You choose whatever colors you like. Then for your flowers, go around the centers. You can use the same colors, opposite colors, the oranges, the browns, the yellows. They're all beautiful. Save the green for the stems, or if you'd like to do a sunflower that hasn't quite bloomed yet, Mr. Van Gogh included one there. I hope you had an enjoyable time listening to my story. I hope you'll get out your crayons and markers. Maybe even Mom will get out the paint and you'll be able to paint Van Gogh sunflowers. Enjoy your time with your family. Check into YouTube. There'll be more videos. We can't wait to see you. We'll see you on Zoom.